couple safety tips. Always break loose the lug nuts before you lift the vehicle. It's not safe to shake a car on the jack, nor is it safe to be under a car with just a jack. Always put a jack stand under the vehicle's frame, somewhere support. Strong integrity holds the weight. Same as your jack. Don't lift the car by the side of the fender. Don't lift it under a thin metal parts, thinking you're going to get the car up. You know, you're going to lift a hole in the car. Quite simple to mess up on things you're not experienced on, but when you have experience, there's no reason to mess up. You're a professional, right? Why is the service king tearing up people's cars to paint a fender? I don't like it. Come on, man. The spring pushed the wheel off. You mean to tell me we wouldn't have noticed that wasn't driving right before we took it to the shop? I don't know if you can see that, but it just started the surface rust. It was not rusted. It was not structurally integrity was not that affected by an overnight incident when it didn't even move. The car wouldn't start after we drove it home. That was more questionable than anything. Like, how do you get a car that you drop off and drive in, but then you gotta tow it back because it won't run the next day, and all they were supposed to do is change the fender? Still beats me. And they killed the battery, so they're mad because they had to replace a battery too. What kind of stuff is that? This stuff all been worked on. Sway links, struts, everything's been replaced in the last year or so. They all should have time and life on them, even if they have some service rust. That does not take away their integrity. But this is what we go through. People are fraudulent and sneaky. I've been taking this strut off and sitting it aside so I can inspect it further, and also wait for the new ones to come in. There's no reason to leave them on there. It's not going to drive. It's going to definitely pop the tire. As I was saying, it was pressing in the tire. These are natural grooves. There's a tread pattern. Where's the burnt tire rub marks from hundreds of pounds of pressure from a spring pushing into it? Come on, man. We drove on the highway to get home. Hit potholes and everything that, is normally on the road, and it's never stopped the car from driving. Never made rubbing or whirring sounds or rattling. It's always been kept up to date. All of a sudden, it has a broken coil spring after it gets towed back in because they're upset that they're being called out on killing the battery and setting off codes and making a car not run, should I say. Well, we'll find out soon enough. You can see where the spring was riding from them turning the wheel in the shop, trying to prove us that was the problem, or that was relevant to the car not running, which I have no reason why y'all made that an argument. And you charge Geico for an alignment. You got an alignment paid for through a claim with broken suspension parts. What professional does alignments with a broken suspension part of any kind? It's not even legitimate. If you're a professional, you were taught that in trade school. You can't align a car with busted parts on a suspension or steering, or have out of balance air pressure in your tires. So how far did they go by cutting the corners?